I want you all to remember when we used to drive to the toll and somebody we give money to. Now I want you to think, where are they? Thousands of toll workers disappeared overnight. These things will happen to cashiers, supermarkets, fully automated. What's going to happen? What's going to happen when that low tier job is no longer there and there's not a job lower than that? Where do they go? Where do all those thousands of people, where have all those toll workers went? So it's going to create a climate that's not going to be stable. Technology is undefeated. You know how long it take to go from 8 tracks to cassettes? Cassettes, vinyl got popular. Then from vinyl, it went to iPod to players, and then things sped up. It went from MP3s to iPod to no longer needing an iPod. It went from streaming to now you used to download your songs to now you don't even have an account. You don't have any songs on your phone. You have an account paying for music you don't even own. How many of y'all tried to download one of your songs and say, y'all want to have that song on my phone? So guys, what I'm getting at, there are key things for you to become savvy investors, invest in the future. Microsoft, Google, NVIDIA, chips processors, Amazon, which is one of the biggest databases on the planet. And these things are on sale right now. But you know what? We let the news tell us otherwise. The news tell us stock market is doing bad. Run for cover, Ricky. Don't invest in the stock market, when really, if you think like a business person, what they're actually telling you is stocks are on sale. Everything's on sale, Ricky. Amazon owns over 15 companies within itself. Google owns most of the robots that we see going on right now. NVIDIA is one of the biggest processors and chips right now. You mean to tell me you're going to wait until the news says the stock market is doing great, everything's doing great, and then you're going to run and buy them when they're at their most highest point and they're expensive again? The image that we get through the TV is a picture in a frame, and the story is outside of the frame. I need you to think like a business man. Do you think business people really watch the news and we get worried about what they say? Why would they want to free you from the bondage of coming to work every day and you could be strong-minded individual and break away from the chain, and now you're successful? Why would they want to give you information that will make you successful? Fear-mongering is at an all-time high. There's a reason why Wall Street and hedge funds are continuously buying up single-family homes left and right. You know why? Because they're not afraid of what the news is saying. You know what else? They realize how a lot of us became self-employed, successful from owning real estate, from collecting rent, from gaining equity, from being able to pull equity out, pay for college, pay to buy you more investment properties, pay for those investments and things, equity in real estate. And now Wall Street has said, we want in, and they're buying up everything. Do you think billion-dollar corporation hedge funds are doing this on a whim, or they did millions of dollars worth of research that you can now benefit off of? How come you're not benefiting off of the research? And you know what it is? I'm not blaming none of us. What I'm saying is we're not able to process the data properly because of the noise. When I realized the news was making me complacent and it was telling me, be thankful you have a job. Be thankful that you didn't start a business. Be thankful that you're not one of these people in these bad neighborhoods. Somebody walked down the block, somebody gets killed, somebody's getting robbed. Let me tell you something straight up. I don't need you to tell me where I shouldn't hang. I don't need the news to tell me what's a bad area and what time of night I shouldn't be out. I know where I don't need to be at a certain time of night. I need you to free yourself and think different. I'm not telling you don't watch the news, because there's a message inside the message. I'm just trying to help you process the data of the message. This is a mentorship about life. And you need to have you a partner that's on board. I don't need you to have this knowledge for yourself. I need your husband, your wife to have the knowledge. Why would you want to have the keys and the combination to the safe for yourself? And if you pass away, and when you pass away, they're left with none of this information. I need you to be committed to share the information with somebody else. I want us all to support every one of the influencers out here if it works for you. I love all my fellow influencers out here doing great things. Why? Knowledge is to be shared and not hoard. You must be willing to show grace and be humble for somebody else if they're doing something great, and especially if it's greater than what you're doing. There's nobody out here who could say, man, Storm, man, that guy, he's selfish. Or Storm, he thinks about himself. I want anyone who ever tries to talk about me to somebody else, I want that other person to look at them and go, something's wrong with you. Because that man has done nothing but promote everybody and everything he's ever done. And I pour my heart back into my people. And you know where that comes from? I want y'all to understand that we are living between the bookmarks of the now. N-O-W. The now, when the doctor tells your mother to push, and the now, when the God you believe in tells you, you coming home with me now. The sad part about it, we don't know how much time we have in between. So I need you to act now. No time wasted. I need you to value time. Today is my everything. That's what this is about. I need you to value that which you have and make the most out of it. If you never look at the price of something and equate that thing on how much it's going to cost you, I want you to equate the value of what you're going to get in return. How do you turn $500 into $5 million? Don't ask a person with only $500. I need you to get out your circle. Your circle is going to be there. Your friends will be there. You want to make a change and impact the people around you? I need you to leave them. Poof. Oh, they hear me. I need you to leave them. If we got 4 friends in a circle that have never done nothing and you leave the 3. 3 will talk about you, but it'll be 1 who will go, man, they impressed at what you're doing. Now they want to go do that thing. That leaves 2. The 2 of them, 1 of them will continuously talk, man, they doing their thing. I'm glad for them, but that ain't for me. That 1 person will leave, leaving that 1 person there by himself. Now, the sad part is that 1 person still would not chase his dream because he was the glue holding y'all 3 together. There's some lives you can never change. Some lives are designed to crash and burn, to be a prime example of what you should never do and how you should never live. You should never try to save them because now you're not living up to the full potential of what your life is meant to be. Did you hear me? You're not living up to the full potential of what your life is trying to be, trying to save somebody else, when that person knows their destiny. How many times you seen somebody clean somebody up from on drugs, alcohol, clean them up, give them a suit, a place to stay, and they go right back out there, get drunk and do the same thing, and then you grab them and go, why are you doing this? They know their destiny. How come you don't know yours? That person's life is a beacon to 20 to 30 other people to go, I don't want to be like him. They're doing what they're supposed to do. They're helping 20 to 30 other people focus. You trying to change their projection. The nerve. I need you to understand and look in the mirror for yourself and say to yourself, what am I doing? Where am I going? The most clarity I've ever had is the day when I went into my bathroom and I turned on the light. I looked in the mirror and I was frustrated at what I was doing in life I was living. And I said, why am I not getting it? Why am I not going down this path, which I know is a great path for me? I know I have this voice. I know I have this thing. Why? Don't you know I used to say that to myself in the dark room and I never would get an answer? But the day when I turned on the light, looked in that mirror, I started responding back to myself. I started saying, you know why? Because you're abusing a gift that you got. Because you're still hanging around the same 3 people. Because you're not taking it. What was happening was the person in the mirror, I wanted them to come out and be real. And I actually need to see him, look in his eyes and gain clarity and stop talking to myself in the dark and let him have a voice. I was never the same. Stop speaking to yourself in utterness. Stop sharing your dreams with people who cannot see your vision. Stop having pillow talk with those who only there to deter you from what it is you know you can be because they want you to stay right there with them. If somebody is with you, let me tell you, and I'm not trying to break up nobody's household before I start talking. Let me tell you something. I love commitment and I love relationship. But I learned that if somebody would enjoy to see you miserable because you are now making them happy, that's a place you don't need to be. If somebody can live with you being miserable just because you're making them happy, you need to leave. The hardest decisions I've ever made were the ones that changed my life. I would not be here talking to you now if I didn't say, I have to tear this wall down. Let me give you an example before I get out of here. I want you guys to look at this picture. You and your relationship. Just whoever it is. Friends. You got one friend, there's a relationship, you're in a relationship, it's in a frame. You hit the nail in the wall, you hang that frame up. This relationship looks pretty in the frame. Now you realize there's turmoil in this relationship. It's not working out. You're deciding on whether to make a decision to leave, to stay. What should you do? You know this relationship is not beneficial to you, but you stay. Now you take the frame down. You say, you know what? I want to add another person to this relationship. So maybe you'll have a child. You add a child. You add another child to the picture in the frame. You add 2 or 3 more friends in the frame. So now the frame got bigger and the frame gets heavier. It's more people in this frame. You take the nail out because the nail can't hold the weight. You get you one of them screws, them butterfly screws. When you screw it in, the butterfly comes out and the anchor got to grab into the sheetrock. So now you screw in one of those kind of screws. The butterfly opens up. Now you put that frame up, you and the family. Now you say to yourself, I'm tired. This thing ain't going to work. I'm torn down. You take the frame down. You say, you know what? I want to take that nail out the wall. But when you try to take that nail out the wall, You pulling the entire sheetrock with that wall. It's no longer the single nail you could just put some spackle on. You added more weight, more responsibility, more things to it when you knew when the frame was lighter, you needed to make a decision. So now you're tearing down a foundation. So what I'm telling you is, whether it's your relationship or your friendship, make a decision before you put more weight on the frame. And now you need that screw with the anchor. And now it's harder for you to break away from those friendships or relationship. The same amount of wind it takes to blow out a candle, that same amount of wind could spur on a forest fire. I blew out a candle. I blew on sparks in the forest and ignited this fire. I want you to ask yourself, are you the candle? Are you the forest fire?